Hello, I'm very glad to be with you tonight because I am going to talk to you about the disease one, that subjects that I love a lot because I've encountered quite a lot of time those people, those disease one, while I was doing a healing session. That may look quite strange to encounter a deceased loved ones just beside the people you are healing, but that's a fact. And I want to explain to you, first of all, the process into which we are going through while we are deceased, while the death is coming on. So you first go, for some people, depending on the quality of enlightenment that you have go through into your life, you can either go directly into the light, and then you will be taken in charge by other light beings, and so you can only evolve. And that means that into the life you don't lose the connections with all your loved one. Moreover, this connection is enhanced by the fact that you are acting now through the light and into the light, and so you can help the worlds to be built for your loved one who stayed on Earth with your help, and so you can help create the life they do want to. And that's something really to be understood, that the links between the love links between you and your loved one will not be cut because you are deceased. But some people don't know about that, and some people doesn't have a quality of life good enough to go directly into the light. So they stay on in an astral plane. And the astral plane, that's not a so good place to be. That's a place where you do not evolve. That's a place where you find out yourself with others, I would say very gray souls, other souls. And then really, that's not a place of light. But whatever, that's if some people stay there, it's that they believe that they will be close to their loved one that they don't want to abandon, and that they want still to help and to protect, because the astral plane is very close to our physical plane. If you look at it, you see we do have our physical plane, then we have the ethereal plane, which is very close, and I can really very easily feel something that is into the ethereal plane. But the astral plane is just after the ethereal plane. So you see, it's very close to our physical body. And so that's still a plane where you can still really, without any, I would say, special psychic abilities, to feel the presence of your loved one. So, and so that's why some people choose after this to stay in this astral plane. So, because they have the impression they don't know about the light, so they really have the impression that this way they will continue to be there. And sometimes it's due also to their attachment to their homes, to their life. And sometimes some people doesn't realize because the death is really sudden. And so they don't realize that they are dead right now. So there is a multiple of case of dealing with deceased people with the main goal that we do have, all of us, it's to be a kind of guide of souls to help them to go into the light. And then that where we can ask for the help of the angels, archangels, and also Mary, that I love a lot to call her, because with his infinite love, it's really a pleasure to see her taking care of the soul that have asked for her help, for her accompaniment, for his accompaniment. And it's really a pleasure to see this column of life just creating itself into a corner of the room, and just to see this soul and Mary and the archangel coming together up into the light. That's really something really wonderful. So you feel at your place, and you feel that you've really made up something really great. So that's why we are talking about all that now. So I am going to give you some anecdotes about what has been, what happened during my healing sessions. And once, for example, I can give you the examples of somebody who was always feeling the presence of his mother's just beside her. And so the mother was there, always close to his daughter, and the daughter feels something limited, and she couldn't go further in his life. She wasn't satisfied with his life fully because there were a kind of glass ceilings going up above, and it was due to the presence, to the comforting, maybe too much close, the presence of his mother there taking care of his daughter. So just not leaving her, just to deploying his wings. And so it was needed for her because she wanted, the parts of her was really wanted to be free from that, to find herself, who she was, who she wanted to be. And so she wanted to be, and so she needed for her mothers to go into the light. But the thing, it's one part of her doesn't want his mothers to. Okay, hold on a minute. Yeah, she doesn't want her mothers to leave her right now. She has kind of culprit with that. She was afraid that she lose her mothers while asking her to leave her, and so that was difficult because both the daughter and the mothers wanted to stay together. So I have, when I was talking, because I am giving you this speech, this video to learn you how to deal with that kind of situation. So you have to talk to both, so to the daughter and to the mother at this time. And so what I've told them, your links will not be destroyed, your love links will not be destroyed if you just let go. And so please just let go, because where your mother will go, when I was talking to the daughter, and I know that the mother was hearing, when you let go of your mothers, she will be accompanied by angels, archangels, and she will go into the light. So which is really a better place for her to go on, because she will evolve, and then your link together, your love link will be reinforced by her presence into the light. And so I told that also to the mothers, you have to leave your daughter, because that's you sometimes in some way you take her some parts of her energy that she's not being able to put it now in developing a better life for her. So you have to leave her to go outside this astral world and to go into the light. And I promise you that you will help us much better while being into the light, because with all the light beings you will evolve so much that you will be able to intervene onto the dreams or the the vision of your daughter's life and to make things happen. I've seen them a lot, being helped by his deceased one. That's something really fantastic. I know that because a part of my family is now up there in the light, and I know how they act in my everyday life to help me fulfill my dreams. And I am really glad for them to do so. And so, okay, that was a first anecdote. And now I want to talk to you about kind of a funny one. I love it a lot. And that's they were grandmothers being there onto his help me. Sometimes I don't find that one. But yeah, she was there with with her grandchild, and so she was so in love with her that she wanted to stay into the astral world just to protect her and to see her grow. But the problem is that this grandmother was very, very stubborn. So I was giving her the same speech that I explained to you before. She wasn't to hear about that. She was stubborn. She wanted to stay there, and she doesn't want to believe in what I was telling her. And so she wanted to stay in the astral world. She doesn't want to go anywhere else because she feels really close to her daughters. And so that was a problem. So suddenly, I did have the intuition that I have to call some of her friends that were already in the light so they can talk together. And so that's what I did. I've been calling them. And so I've seen 3 old ladies, 3 friends of these grandmothers coming on down there in the room where I was doing the healing and practicing the healing. And then I've seen like a tea party going on into this corner of the room. It reminded me of the tea party of my grandmother with her friends. And that was really funny to see that. And I heard them talking, okay, that's very well, the life is very well up there into the light. And really, you might be willing to come, we will be together. And whatever, you can still help your granddaughter. That would be very fine for you. And you say, that's very good. And she was like, no, I want to stay. Okay, mates, you might want, come on, come with us. And then I asked to Mary and an archangel to be ready. And so she feel this comforting influence and very reassuring presence of Mary and the archangels. And so finally, she said, yes, okay, I'm coming with you. And I've seen a huge column of light just going on into the corner of the room. And then all the 4 of them, accompanied by the archangels and Mary, going up into the light. So that was a very funny memory that I got from my work. And it's still in there. Okay. Now, let me talk to you about another story, because it doesn't go all the way that way. Sometimes it's pretty sad, and it's show the powerful beauty of the tremendous beauty of human beings sometimes. So I am going to tell you a story about how human beings can be nice and wonderful and compassionate. So I was doing a healing session with a 35-year-old woman, and it was the beginning of my practice. It was something like 20 years ago. I was doubting on myself sometimes, and okay, so I will explain to you where I want to go. And so I see the deceased person was just next to this woman. And so I asked him who he was. And so he told me he was from his family. And okay, so I was searching, was you his father, grandfather? And then he told me that he was his uncle. And so I asked him, why are you here? What do you have to why are you in relation? What do you keep going? Why are you here now? Do you have something to say? And he said, yes. I want to obtain a forgiveness. Yeah, I want to obtain forgiveness. Okay, I say forgiveness for what? And then I put myself in reception, and then I received the information. That was ugly. It was for sexual attachments, and when she was this adult woman that was there in front of me, when she was a very young woman, when she was a child. And so as I was beginning my practice, I have doubt about it. I didn't know that maybe 30 to 35% of women have had this kind of that this kind of things happen to around 30 to 35% of women. That's what I know now, because it takes me time to realize that, because it's not taught about, not so much. And then so I doubt of myself. I have to be sure of myself. If you imagine if I say that to this woman, and if it was false, okay, it would be a shame for me, because that's very disturbing. I can't say something false to somebody, and somebody with so much importance than that. So I've been calling an archangel. I have been asking him 3 times, okay, I heard that. Is it the truth? And he told me, yes, I heard that. Is it really the truth? Yes, I heard that. Can you confirm it? Sure that? Yeah, he told me yes. So I was convinced. So I find out a way. So I told the woman, okay, you have a deceased person from your family just beside you, and he's your uncle. And this uncle, when he was arriving into a family dinners, what was going on? And so she told me, when he was arriving in family dinners, everybody's just shut his mouth. There was a great silence where he was arriving. Wow. I say to myself, yeah, she reminded him, and she know what was going on. So I asked her, and when you were young, have you been alone with him in a room somewhere? And then she began crying. So I know it was right. So I, at this moment, with openness that comes by, I've been able to explain to him what this uncle has told me. Okay, he's there, and because he wants to ask you for forgiveness for what he has done to you. You know that it was awful. It wasn't mastering his emotion, his feelings, and he wants really you to give him the forgiveness. And so, because he feels the call of the light, and he can go only if you give him the forgiveness needed, so that he be in peace again, and that being in peace again will help him to accede to the light. And so she take a moment, and she find in herself the courage and the love and the compassion to give him this forgiveness. And so I think this uncle going up into the light, and he said, thank you, Lord. He was so grateful toward this woman. And really, I really recognize the courage of doing this kind of acts, the courage of compassion that this woman had at this moment. That's not the case every time. Some people doesn't want to, but she did have. She had. Okay, so that was really a nice moment that I wanted to share with you also. Gray maybe somewhere, gray shadows might be somewhere here in the healing station, but we have to, if we can, the goal is to transmute them so that everybody can be, in a way or another, at peace with what's around. And I want to talk to you about something else, but that it's related to the deceased one, and that's kind of funny also. That's, there were periods, it's much less often, it aroused much less often than before, but everybody, that somebody was having a healing session with somebody calling himself a spiritual guide or something like that. He was coming outside the session and telling, "Wait, that's fantastic. I am a guide of souls. I am somebody that can accompany the souls to the light. Yeah, I am that." Okay, and he was claiming it everywhere. And that's funny because for me, I can taught everybody to be a guide of souls in 5 minutes. You just have to call archangels, Maris, to open your heart really deeply, and most of the time the souls will go into the light. And after that, if you develop psychic capabilities, you will be able to hear them. But that's very easy to become a guide of souls. So, but for people who claim that, that's something funny, because they claim that everywhere, and so the souls do hear it, and so the souls came to his house, to his home at any time of the night, any time of the day, and his house was full of astrals, souls, So that means we know that Astral is kind of negative energy. So there weren't any more energies in his life energy into his home. He was really tired, and he was still claiming that he was a guide of souls, but all his self was dedicated to that because they all combine to that. So please don't affirm that you have a guide of soul or souls, because otherwise that's what happened to you. And I can tell you, that's not a good thing. I prefer life to death. These astral beings mainly, and so just use your capabilities to be a guide of souls at certain moments when the deceased one present themselves to you. For example, if you go on in a place which has been a battlefield, you can go on, and with the help of many archangels, with the help of Mary, with the help of dragons, also they will help you for that. You can make a kind of team that will help you, that will help the souls to go into the light. You understand that? And when you feel that somebody is with the deceased one, you can be there and accompany both the deceased one and the person who's in front of you to explain how the process of going into the light, and to help both of them so that they let go and go up into the light. So everybody can do that, and the advantage is that you won't be disturbed by all the sound that will come by to you. And maybe you don't know that. So I do a link session. If you want to know more, you can look at the links to the website, to my English website, that is down there, just under the video. Also, I'm doing healing harmonizations of. I was an architect, and so, but now I am a psychic, and I know a lot about the invisible worlds, and I've been writing about sacred sites and a lot of things. Okay, but I'm doing house harmonizing and so on. I've been working on a huge project also. And once I've been called to harmonize an apartments where people couldn't sleep anymore, So I've been there. I've been harmonizing everything, the small objects like the wall rooms. I've been dealing with negative energies into the room, just and so on. They were kind of portals for the deceased souls into their homes. So I've treated all of that. So the energy was very good at the time. I've been looking at if there were any deceased souls around, and just I helped them to go into the light at the moment I was there. So it was during the daytime. So I spent a certain amount of time there. And so I goes away, and just I was waiting for their feedback. And a few days later, they send me their feedback. Okay, we are again sleeping very well now. Okay, well, that's really wonderful. The quality of energy has really changed in our home, so we are very glad. But every night at 3 a.m., we are awakened, and we don't know why. So I've been looking at, and there were deceased soul who came by every morning at 3 a.m. and so who awakened them. So, okay, I make the work so that the soul can go into the light. My problem was that, and now I don't know that anymore, that I've been just giving access to the light, helping going into the light, the souls who were present at the moment as we were there. And so now what I am doing, I ask to all the souls who come by this house to go into the light. You understand the difference? And that can be helpful, because if it's... okay, be tolerant, because sometimes I don't find my words, so I have to type. Okay, if you have a vacation home, for example, and a vacation home where you were going for birthdays, Christmas, and so on, so maybe your grandmother has been there only at this occasion, so not at any other time. And if you are harmonizing a house, so if you are going, for example, in March, where it is a period where you never have any vacation at this time, the soul of your deceased grandmothers, who is not gone into the light because she was so attached to this house with all the memories of pleasure, of joy that was going on into that. So she come by every Christmas into this home. So if you harmonize the house in March, this woman, your grandmothers, will never go on into the light, and she will come back every Christmas in this home. So that's why when you are harmonizing a house, you have to think to include all the souls that come by into the house, into this house at any time, so that all of them can go into the light. Okay, that was an anecdote that I wanted to share with you to help you, for you also to be guides of souls. So you understand the process. The process is quite simple. You feel a presence. You feel that this is one. You can just ask, are you from the family of this person? Are you his fathers, mothers? And you can ask the person if recently she has lost somebody from his family or from her family. And so you can find out who it is, and then you can put yourself in reception so that you can hear with your heart the message that the deceased one want to give her, and after that you have to talk to both people so that they can let go. And so that's with the help of archangels and Marie, they can go into the column of light, into the light, where they will find a lot of light beings helping them to evolve more and more. And from that, I promise you, they will help you in your life to realize your dreams. Okay, that was a very nice time to be with you. I am very glad to share that with you. See you next time. Bye-bye.